Hello, and welcome to Celiac.com news. Subscribe to our channel to get the latest celiac disease and gluten-free diet news. And if you have any questions, be sure to join the Celiac.com forum online at celiac.com. And now let's move on to the latest Celiac.com news. A new hope for celiac disease, TPM502 shows promise in Phase 2A clinical trial. For millions living with celiac disease, avoiding gluten isn't a lifestyle choice, it's a medical necessity. Even the smallest exposure can trigger a harmful immune response, damaging the small intestine and causing painful symptoms. Right now, the only treatment is a strict, lifelong gluten-free diet, which can be isolating, stressful, and imperfect. But a new investigational therapy, TPM502, is offering hope as the first potential alternative and maybe even a future solution. At Digestive Disease Week 2025, Topus Therapeutics presented early data from their Phase 2A clinical trial evaluating TPM 502 in patients with celiac disease. The results were encouraging. The treatment was not only safe, but also successfully induced gluten specific immune tolerance, a milestone never before achieved in celiac research. For the gluten-free community, this could be a game changer. TPM 502 is based on Topa's proprietary nanoparticle platform, designed to deliver gluten antigens to immune cells in a way that calms the immune response instead of triggering inflammation. The nanoparticles, coated in polymers, target liver cells known for training the immune system to tolerate harmless substances. When coupled with gluten peptides, these particles teach T cells to stop reacting to gluten. It's not immune suppression, it's immune retraining. In this trial, 38 adults with biopsy-confirmed celiac disease and the HLA DQ2.5 genetic marker found in about 90% of patients were enrolled. All were already following a gluten-free diet. To qualify for the treatment phase, they first underwent a gluten challenge, 6 grams of gluten, to measure immune response. Only those who showed a specific inflammatory reaction, IL-2 response, were included in the randomized portion. Participants received either a placebo or one of 4 doses of TPM 502 via 2-4 infusions on day 1 and day 15. 1 week later, they underwent another gluten challenge to assess the impact. Researchers measured T cell activity, immune markers, and symptoms using validated tools like the SED-PRO questionnaire. The results? Promising on several fronts. First, TPM 502 had a strong safety profile. Most side effects were mild, like nausea and headache. Only one patient experienced a moderate adverse reaction, and none required discontinuation. More importantly, the treatment modulated the immune response. At higher doses, TPM 502 reduced IL-2 and IFN gamma, two key markers of gluten-triggered inflammation. These effects lasted for at least a month after the final dose. Researchers also saw a shift in gluten-specific T cells, which appeared less reactive and more exhausted, a good sign. There was also an increase in regulatory T cells, which help promote tolerance. Patients receiving TPM 502 reported milder symptoms after gluten exposure than those on placebo, marking the first human trial where gluten-specific immune tolerance has been successfully demonstrated. For patients and families dealing with celiac disease, these findings offer real hope. Managing a gluten-free diet is difficult, especially in schools, restaurants, or social settings. Even careful people face accidental exposure and symptoms that last for days. TPM 502 could one day offer protection against those small but risky exposures, or, if the therapy continues to evolve, even open the door to gluten reintroduction. Practically speaking, this therapy could reduce the anxiety around cross-contamination, lower the risk of long-term gut damage, and improve quality of life, especially for kids and teens trying to live normally despite strict dietary restrictions. Following these results, Topus is expected to move forward with larger, longer-term studies. Future research will need to confirm whether the immune tolerance lasts, determine ideal dosing schedules, and assess whether the therapy could eventually replace dietary restrictions altogether. The data presented at DDW 2025 even earned a spot in the American Gastroenterological Association's presidential plenary, underscoring its importance to the field. TPM502 could also have ripple effects beyond celiac disease. The same antigen-coupled nanoparticle technology is being tested for other autoimmune conditions like pemphigus vulgaris and potentially others such as type 1 diabetes and multiple sclerosis. Unlike traditional immunosuppressants, this approach targets specific immune reactions without weakening the entire immune system, a major advancement in autoimmune care. For now, the celiac community is at the forefront of this innovation. After decades of relying solely on food avoidance, a new era of targeted immunotherapies is on the horizon. TPM502 is still in early stages, but it represents the most promising leap forward in celiac treatment to date. While more trials are needed, the success of this Phase 2A study suggests that a future beyond the gluten-free diet may finally be within reach. For millions of people, that could mean fewer symptoms, less fear, and a much improved quality of life. It's too soon to call it a cure, but for the first time, we're not just managing celiac disease. We're beginning to reimagine how to treat it. To get the latest celiac disease news and information, be sure to subscribe to celiac.com news. Thank you for tuning in and see you next time.